Wired. Good evening. This is, for me, this is a treat. I reside in Wisconsin. Anyway, I want to begin here with some slides. And I want to have a little fun just to begin with, again, just to show you what a diffusionist really is. And then we're going to jump right into the meat of the subject. Now, a little geography lesson, in case you Westerners don't know what you're looking at here. This is on the bottom right, is the top of the main state of Michigan. What's that? Oh, okay, thanks, Dwayne. Okay, the left here, this is the upper peninsula of Michigan, which connects into Wisconsin. This up here is called the Keweenaw Peninsula. This area, all combined, has had a tremendous, rich archaeological history. And I'm going to show you just a few things. First of all, this island out here sits off the Keweenaw. Out in the middle of Lake Superior, it's called Isle Royale. This island and this Thumb Peninsula has over 5,500 open copper pit mines. The earliest date they found to document is 2100 BC. They have almost no carbon material out there to date whatsoever. But somebody was here mining these pits at a very aggressive rate, very, very early. When the first Jesuit priests, the first white men that saw and recorded these mines, they were literally filled with hammerheads. And on the Keweenaw Peninsula, to have these things match so well, we don't have a clue. But these things happen. And this is what makes us diffusionists, because we believe that prior to Columbus, there was contact with the continents. And basically, we simply say Columbus was last. Now I'd like you to meet Claudette Nichols. Claudette Nichols is in Jackson County, Mississippi. She's on the Pearl River. This is her backyard. She has a backyard. She's in the farm. It's in the country. She has a pile of stones that cover a complete hillside. Some of the stones have writing. It's very hard to see. They are badly weathered. Professional archaeologists have been out to her house and visited this site. They've looked at it and they said, yep, it's not Native American, but we have no idea what it is. Thank you very much. And that was it. Nothing's ever been done with this site. This is a major, major site. It's really an entire mound. The stones you see here are 6 to 10 inches below the earth. Her and her sister and a brother removed them so that these pictures could be taken. But this was found in Colfax, Wisconsin. My neighbor about 4 miles away has this. It's a gorgeous little piece. The guy was sitting on the bank fishing, bored because they weren't biting. He was kicking his heels into the bank, and this thing rolled out of the earth. That's how it was found. Ancient Hebrew. You got to read from right to left. Did y'all catch that? Right to left. Okay. A little slow tonight. That's all right. 3.5 inches long. This also, by the way, has been forged. It is not cold hammered. Also in Upper Michigan, very early on, this is a large clay tablet. It had over 400 characters on it. This is all that remains of it. It's in a museum up there in St. Ignace, and this is what you'll see today if you ever visit Upper Michigan. That's all that's left. And guess who else showed up in Upper Peninsula? Anybody recognize this? If you're over in Norway or Sweden or Finland or Denmark, you'll see a whole bunch of these. The Vikings, they were here too. Definitely here. No doubt about it. Now I'll tell you something really exciting is coming up, the Ancient American. Kai Swenson, a good friend of mine, he has just purchased a site near Alexandria, Minnesota. For those of you that do not know, in Alexandria, Minnesota is where the famous Viking runestone was found. It's dated roughly 1346, 1370, whatever. But on that runestone, it tells about a battle with the Indians where 10 Vikings were killed. The Vikings are believed to be buried in a grove of trees not far from this location where they erected a stone. They always stood on stones to honor dead, special events, ceremonies, whatever. I believe these 10 men are buried there. Kai Swenson has purchased this ground. He's hired a professional archaeologist and excavation will begin as soon as the frost leaves the earth. That's going to start this summer. Really exciting. Okay, this one you got to really stretch. This comes from Bonampak, down in the Yucatan. As all the archaeologists tell us, elephants were not here the same time as the historic Indians of the Americas. The mammoth and the mastodon were gone long before Paleolithic man wandered down from the hillsides. And yet, in Bonampak, we find this. This creature has been officially entitled a parrot. That's right, a parrot. Now, as we go through here tonight, I want you to watch and count how many parrots go by. Just keep that in mind. Hello? That's in Bonampak. Yucatan. Yucatan. I'm sorry. I've got too much going on up here. This here is also another one of those parrots. I don't recognize the wings too well, but this comes from Pachacamac. That's in Peru. Now, we all know that Native Americans did not like facial hair. They had very little of it. Grow a couple. This gorgeous piece was found just in 1979, about 30 feet below the streets of Mexico City. And if you'll notice, he has a lovely little goatee. But more importantly is the aquiline nose he has and the Caucasian features. This is a gorgeous piece, an excellent find. Another nice little piece out of Georgia. This is a brass pot. A dog dug it up in a farmer's field. That's all I can tell you about it. Weird stuff. Another view of the pot. Now, you gotta look at this. Now, I'm gonna stop right there. What you see here on the screen right now is a Michigan tablet. Give you a little bit of background about this, and it's a long story, and I can't give it all to you, but I'll paraphrase as much as I can. Michigan tablets were first came to light around 1879. That's when they hit the newspapers. It caused a great big stir in Michigan right up through 1919, even 1920. And literally thousands upon thousands of artifacts were dug up. One of the major misconceptions is that there was only one collection, Soper Savage. This is not true. The Soper Savage collection was large, but it was not the only collection. Today, there are 11 other collections in Michigan, and there's one in New Hampshire that I know of. And there's one other large collection, which is right here in the state of Utah. Now, these plates cover a lot of themes. You've got a little taste of it from Dwayne already. And I'm going to show you a little bit more things on them before we get into something else. But they're made of copper, they're made of clay, and they're made of black slate. The mounds were very low and small. They weren't large. They were actually one-person burials oftentimes, sometimes two or three. They practiced cremation. So there's basically charcoal in the mounds. Then with the clay tablets or a few other artifacts would be found of all kinds and varying sizes. The top photograph, these are obviously weapons. I don't know how well you can see it. On the top, you probably can't, but on the bottom, notice the white letters right here? Can you see that in the back? This is what's called the mystic symbol. Now, this was coined. You got to figure it out for yourself. Mystic symbol at the top. This scene here, we believe, represents the scene of Solomon and the two mothers fighting over one child. One child's dead, one child is alive. And what you're seeing here is the mother winning, the correct mother getting reward of the child, and the other mother being expelled.